Let me ask you something. How often do you stop, really stop, to cherish the time you have with your pet? I know we all love our animals, our furry friends, the creatures that meet us at the door with joy, or cuddle up next to us after a long day. But if you're like most people, it's easy to get caught up in the everyday routines and overlook just how precious these little moments are. It's easy to think they'll be there forever. I remember an old friend of mine who had a golden retriever named Bailey. Now, Bailey wasn't just a pet, he was family. My friend used to joke that he spent more time with Bailey than with any person in his life. But like most of us, he was busy. So busy, he sometimes rushed right past those wagging tails and hopeful eyes. I'd see it in the small things. He'd be on his phone during their walks, or he'd skip the extra belly rubs because he had work to do. And one day, Bailey wasn't there anymore. The house was quiet, and suddenly he had all the time in the world to think about those little moments he'd let slip by. Now, I'm not saying this to make you sad, but to remind you of something essential. Our time with our pets is fleeting. They don't get the same decades we do, but they make the most of every minute they have. And maybe, just maybe, they're here to remind us to do the same. Think about it. Pets don't judge, they don't hold grudges, and they don't worry about tomorrow. They just are. They live in the present, soaking up every bit of joy they can find in the here and now. There's something we can learn from that. Imagine if every time your pet looked up at you with those hopeful eyes, you could pause, just for a moment, and connect with them. It's in those moments that life speaks its simplest and truest wisdom. I used to have a dog myself, a mischievous little beagle named Daisy. She wasn't just a pet, she was my teacher. Daisy taught me patience, taught me to laugh even when things didn't go my way, taught me that even on the longest, hardest days, there was someone waiting for me who didn't care what went wrong, so long as I was there beside her. And in those quiet moments, sitting on the porch, watching the world go by, I learned more about love, about presence, than in a lifetime of reading or studying. But I'll be honest, there were times when I was too wrapped up in my own world, times I chose work over a walk, or brushed her off when I had important things to do. Now looking back, I realize it wasn't the work or the to-do list that mattered. It was the time I spent with Daisy, because when she left, she took a part of my heart with her, a part I'll never quite get back. So what's my message to you today? It's simple. When you come home, take a moment to greet your pet with all the love you have. When they're lying next to you, put down the phone, forget about tomorrow's worries, and just be there. Look into their eyes, scratch behind their ears, and remember that to them, you are the world. Life is full of things that can wait, deadlines, emails, even some of the endless demands that seem so important. But our time with our pets, our time with the people we love, those moments are priceless and fleeting. Let's be sure we don't look back one day wishing we'd given just a little more attention, a few more belly rubs, one more game of fetch. Remember, your pet isn't concerned with yesterday, and they're not worried about tomorrow. All they know is that they have you today. And I think, in a way, they're here to show us how to live. Not in the endless rush to the next thing, but right here, in the beautiful, simple now. So tonight, give your pet an extra treat, an extra hug, and don't just see them with your eyes, feel them with your heart. Because one day, all that'll remain of these moments are memories. Let's make them the kind we can cherish, knowing we loved with all we had, right when it mattered most. I'll leave you with that. Until next time, remember to walk the path with love and presence, for yourself, for others, and for those who walk it with 4 legs and wagging tails.